I guess we have to start our meeting. It looks like you guys are having too much fun.
Really at the end of the table.
I'll call the Waterworks and Lighting Commission meeting to order. Let's go to number, oh, by the way, John Bergen is excused for today's meeting. We'll go to number 2. We'll need an approval for the special commission meeting minutes held on March 8th, 2018.
Also move.
Okay, Rick made the motion.
I'll second that.
Joe second. All in agreement?
Aye.
Are there any nays? Okay, the next one is 2.2, regular commission meeting held on March 14th, 2018. Would somebody like to make a motion to accept the minutes?
I move to accept the meeting minutes for March 14th.
Okay, John made the motion and
Second.
Rick second. All in agreement, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays? All right. We'll go to number 3, action items. 3.1, 2019 capital budget pre-approval to rewind West Wisconsin Rapid Substation transformer.
Yeah, I guess I'll speak a little bit on this, Tom. So we had the transformer that failed. We purchased a new transformer to replace it, which will arrive in June. And what I'm requesting is we would like to rewind the failed unit. We are planning on putting that as a 2019 budget item. We have some opportunities here to save a little money because when the new unit arrives in June, we'll have to have a crane to set it in place. And if we wanted, we could pick the old unit at that time, and instead of just setting it aside in the substation till next year, we could load it on a trailer and ship it to the company that we want to do the rewind. So we're saving that crane time. The other thing that it would allow us to do is get them to lock in a price so that if we have aluminum and copper prices rise between now and then, we would be able to have the price that they're guaranteeing. I'm still waiting back from Jordan Transformer to get there. It's been a few weeks and just have not gotten an answer to them. But, you know, with this here approval, we would ask that they wouldn't invoice us until the next year. And I still have not gotten that okay from their upper management that they would be okay with that. But the first step would be to get our commission, I guess, to pre-approve this $250,000 because it doesn't pay for us to ship it there and then, you know, not have it pre-approved.
That sounds pretty prudent.
Yeah.
What, you take it off the truck, then take the old and put it on the same truck and...
Yeah, you probably would take the new one off the truck, then put the old one on the truck, and then pick the new one onto the location of the old one. Yeah. So it'd be 3 picks, but you normally are renting the crane for 1 day regardless. It's just a matter of you're saving the time of having to have the crane come back in winter and pick it again.
Yeah.
So
you don't know if you're waiting for Jordan management to say that they won't invoice you until January.
Right. I mean, we would probably be invoiced the amount of money of the trucking company to ship it from here to there. That's what I'm really trying to get from them, is to have them say that they're willing to only invoice us that and then store the transformer for 8 months or 6 months. And I still haven't heard back from them. I thought I would by now. I've been putting a little pressure on them, but haven't got that back yet.
Would they be looking for a purchase order from you right now with intent that it's
Correct.
January 1st?
Correct. So if the commission approves this money, which is for next year's budget, I would write them the purchase order on the content that they wouldn't actually bill us or invoice us for the rewind of the transformer until January.
And the importance of this, again, is to make sure we have a spare if we should have that happen.
Yep. Understood.
Would the funds come from depreciation?
They would just be part of the capital request from next year, would be the intent at this point.
And then I guess we don't get that okay, we'll come back with a plan B because we won't be
Right.
turning it off. Yeah.
What do you mean if we don't approve it?
If
I mean,
they-
if Jordan doesn't approve
Oh,
billing us next year, then we'll have to come up with another plan.
Yeah, if they say, well, we're gonna charge you X amount of money to store it for 6 months, or we're not gonna guarantee that price, Plan B would probably be, we'll just let it sit in the sub till January then. Not try to take advantage of this savings of the crane. But if they do go ahead, Tom, and say that, I'd like to have this pre-approved so that I can get the purchase order to them right away then.
Understood.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't see why it always looked, I've been there, I don't know if you have, and it looks like they have a lot of storage out there.
I haven't been to the plant. I'm hoping to with this rewind. It'd be nice to go see it, seeing that it's that close and such.
All right. Anybody have any other questions?
In your conversation with them, does it look like it would be rewound this year?
No.
Are they backed up enough?
No, it would look like, because we wouldn't ask for an invoice from them until next year, the idea would be that they always purchase the material 3 months before they do the rewind, but then don't invoice till 3 months after. So if this all went and took place, what would happen is they would buy all the material in October, they would invoice us in January, and then they could start the rewind right away in January. On the flip side of it, now and we'd probably get the transformer back by probably midsummer next year. On the flip side, if we wait, we probably don't get it back till the end of next year, so.
Somebody like to make a motion?
I'll move to approve the 2019 capital budget for rewinding the transformer.
I'll second that.
Okay. John made the motion, Joe second. Any other discussion? If not, all in agreement, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays? Okay, thank you. All right, 3.2, Uniform Service RFP.
It's been several years since we've gone out for RFP on uniform services, so we thought it was just time to do that. It's not that we're unhappy with our current provider, but unfortunately with some purchases of companies between the two, there's really UniFirst and Cintas are the only two in the area that'll do the uniform rental and the laundry services. So you can see what's presented to you is the cost between Cintas and UniFirst. We're currently utilizing Cintas. The rates that they gave us for the current year are the same rates they're giving us now that have been locked in for several years now. So there would be no increase this year. There's a small increase in the next 2 years, but pretty minor and still lower than what UniFirst's cost would be.
Okay.
I'll move to approve Jeff's recommendation going to Cintas.
Okay, John made the motion to approve the uniform service with Cintas, I believe,
I'll second that.
and Rick second. Is there any other discussion? Not all in agreement, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays? Okay. Department update, Safety Committee. Okay, what the inspection of the hoist, is that the cable on the boom trucks?
It's actually, we have hoists,
Oh, and
chain-driven hoists
In the
for
plant?
lifting the chlorine tanks up, that's what they're talking
Okay, all
about.
right.
Some of the chains show some wear that need to be replaced and stuff, and some minor repairs.
Okay. Well, since I asked the question, what about the hoist on your crane? Do you pretty much have a monthly inspection for cables that you use on the outside hoist?
Typically, the guys look them over before they use them. They're supposed to check them out beforehand to see something visual. This company is actually more in depth on what to check for, but they're supposed to give a visual before they use them.
And that's on the trucks?
On the trucks themselves, that'd be more for Josh could answer that.
We do daily inspections. Yeah.
Yeah, well, how do you do it?
Oh, there's 20 steps that you gotta hit. We check the winch lines probably 4 times a year.
Okay.
Then you can usually flip them end for end when they get bad. It's usually just the eyes that go bad.
Okay. I said, well, I just remember, yeah, I take it you're not making the cable max out.
No, I think the cables are like 10 times factor.
Yeah. All right. Anybody have anything else? If not, the line superintendent's report.
The courthouse upgrade project, what was that?
They had a 2400 volt feed.
Okay.
It was one of 2 left, I guess, that we had. And we moved their service out to a 208 volt, which is a standard thing
Okay.
to get rid of a bunch of equipment in the courthouse.
Is that related to all their department moves and stuff, or?
No, I don't think so. They actually own the equipment in the courthouse.
Okay.
And they really drove wanting to get rid of it. So.
Okay.
Yeah, a long overdue upgrade that they finally committed to. Yeah, we had similar feeds to all of the schools, public schools and private schools. And over the course of the years, we worked with them and eliminated them all. And now we're down to, now that the courthouse is done, we're down to just one other one.
Anything else? If not, the water department operations report. I have a question. I don't know if it pertains to your report or not, but if we, let's say we treat 1 million gallons, can we account for like 990,000 gallons metered, on the outside with the residential customers? Do you know, can you really are you on top of how much water loss we have?
We keep track of that. Adam and Jeff work close on that. They watch what we take in and what we put out. Every month we do a report to the DNR, which has all that spelled out, how much we brought in, how much was used internally, and how much was on revenue.
Also has
Like
to
3 to
report the
5% or
PSC
something.
anyway, so we-
14, 15%.
Oh, really? Okay.
So one of the schedules it says in the report, the PSC report this year.
What about the water loss? Do we have substantial water loss at any time? Is it usually well below 10% or?
If we see something in the monthly report, we start looking for things. Like the one year we did the leak audit, we found 6 leaks that weren't coming to the surface and stuff, and that cut down, made the numbers jive.
Okay.
So we do watch it,
Okay,
so we don't have that happen.
Thanks. I guess that never came up before. I was always wondering if you did keep track of it. I thought you did. Any other questions, Dale? If not, the office manager report.
So the moratorium ends Monday? Is that Monday or Tuesday or Monday?
Yes, Monday.
And we could have snow on the ground.
Yeah, which, depending what the temperature does, it may impact when we actually begin disconnecting.
PSC realizes it's going to be really cold the following week. They'll issue a statement on Friday saying hold off a week or whatever.
On the trip, on the debt collection initiative, you collected more than 44,000. I don't remember what we collected last year, but I thought it was around 70 something, I think.
Memory serves, it was around 90,000.
90,000. Do you expect that to be as large this year?
I do. We're running very close to our numbers at this point last year, so I would say yes.
I was thinking since the aging reports are, they're kind of like staying in line, and the 90-day is, continually staying near 100,000. That might contribute to maybe not having such a large trip amount.
Of course, we just wrote off a bunch and sent it down to them, so that'll probably help our numbers, so, in the last meeting.
Those dollars that we're collecting on TRIP and SDC, they've already been written off for our accounts receivable.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
just so everybody's clear.
All right, Director of Finance report.
So what is the purpose, or what is the Mosaic tool? What is that? What would that provide, or what's the value proposition?
It gives some really good reporting abilities and some dashboards.
Okay.
What I envision is setting up different kind of dashboards, maybe to monitor, receivables, office collections, daily, number of payments coming in, those kind of things, and be able to report trends, as well as, bigger general ledger amounts, and then even when the MDM data gets out there, to be able to do some more robust reporting on usage, daily usage and those kind of things. So we've got a good handle on those things, which is kind of our gap right now.
On your financial report, you talked about the 212,000 we got from ATC, but didn't last year we also start getting the refund from the Google savings?
Last year there was that 5% reduction, but we hit that 212 right away. We got that in January.
You put it right into the...
It went into rate stabilization right away in January, but it offset. The offset was the purchase power, so it reduced our expenditures. We gave it back in the same year. So it really offset last year, but when you're looking, month-to-month comparison like we're doing here, it just looks
So
like we're
you're
spending more.
saying that 212,000 went right into income right away?
It was a reduction of expenditures.
Reduction of expenditures.
Yep.
So that's why we're 255 lower,
That's why we're higher this year,
higher this year. Okay.
because that was a big offset of why those numbers are different this year.
It's the cost of power adjustment to customers where that flowed back to
Yeah.
customers.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the power cost adjustment clause. So far this year, it's already 196,000,
Right.
and you have budgeted 275,000.
That fluctuates.
Probably going to have positive.
Right, summer we're always positive just because the cost of power is higher, with demand and whatnot. So that number will swing, hopefully we'll be within
And
that.
we were really last year offset because of the glue rebates that we're getting in there. I have 2 more meetings and I'll be able to do your job.
There you go.
The glue rates remain flat again this year. No increase, so the 5% reduction we had at the beginning of last year is essentially still in effect.
Okay. I only have one other question. I must have that excess time this week. On the water income statement, the water treatment expense is up, probably let's say 50,000 for the first 2 months.
Right.
And, well, the other number isn't that great. It's like 14,000 on the water transmission. Is that due to the work that's done in the water treatment?
The plant itself, yes,
Right,
fixing the leaks that we had and whatnot. Yep. And then the transmission distribution expense was up just because we had a couple more costly breaks than we did in the previous year.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, Information Systems Administrator. Are you getting anywhere with US Cellular or Verizon?
No, I haven't pushed either one of them yet, though. Still working on it.
This is a problem, trying to get that data through cellular.
It's a problem securing it. It's not so much a problem getting it. We can get it, no problem, but then it's open. So the problem is securing it. Making sure it's secured, encrypted, and all that stuff.
I see. Oh,
I mean, the more we can get fiber to, the better off it'll be, just phone charges and everything else, but there are some places we're just not gonna be able to get fiber to, so that's why he's working on that
Yeah.
solution.
Yeah, like, we're not gonna run fiber halfway to Plover, so.
yeah, right. Well, I was just thinking, I watch television, I know you can conquer the world with a cell phone. Why can't you get your data?
No, we can. I mean, you can throw any cellular modem out there and bring the data back, but we gotta have it secure. Customer usage, so you gotta keep it secure.
So they can't encrypt it well enough that, or is this a price cost thing?
US Cellular is our main cell phone vendor, so they're the ones that we go to for all our cellular needs. They just started a program that secures data, for secure data connections. They actually just started it, just kicked it off late last year, December of last year is when they started it off. So they're not savvy enough in it yet to get everything set up correctly. With our existing system. They could do it fine if we, purchase $1,500 or $2,000 worth of their equipment and then go forward from there, which we can go that route. But Verizon has been doing it for the city, for over a year with the traffic signals. And that's the only reason that I got together with them to try to figure out, what they have going on. So now it's just a compare cost kind of thing.
Okay. So really, all the other, the AMI and probably the outage management system is all on fiber?
Yeah, all
That's within the city itself?
Right. It's either brought back over our current radio system, which is encrypted, and that's all already in place, or it's local. It's just information that's here already.
Okay. So you're telling me that just that narrow, it sounds like it's a narrow band that you would have to use the cellular for?
Yeah, well, the problem with the radios is they use a public frequency,
Yeah.
and so do the ham radio operators. There's a lot of ham radio operators in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They switch back and forth, so then we have to switch ours, in order to not step on them or them not, over broadcast on ours, on our frequency we're using. So every now and again we'll lose connection, and then I'll have to readjust the frequencies, and then we'll get it back, and then maybe a couple months later something else will come up, and then we have to switch it again.
Okay. All right, thanks. Any other questions? All right, the Conservation Manager report. All I can say is that it looks like you had favorable ratings again from the educators. And you want to do it again next year?
I think that would be wonderful. We had 100% of the educators that filled out the evaluation wanted National Theater to revisit, and Waterworks and Lighting Commission sponsor them in 2019. I think that would be great.
I see we have Scott, I gotta ask him a question. When we keep doing programs like this successively in years, do you ever hit critical mass where it's probably something you do maybe 4 or 5 times and then you put a break in between because it's been seen so much?
Yeah, I could see changing it up rather than every year, but maybe every other year. Because otherwise it's just too much. They have so many programs of different kinds.
Yeah.
And if you come every other year or so, it's fresh per se.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Director of Engineering Electrical Operations. Central Wisconsin Electric Co-op. Is this like a purchasing program?
They're an electric co-op.
Yeah, they're a co-op. So they're another utility basically that serves the central Wisconsin area by Rothschild there.
Okay. And how would this benefit you? Would this be when you...
They're using the software that we're going to try to implement next year. So we went up to go look at it.
Okay.
Same billing system
Yeah.
they're using as us. So,
The same billing system.
same.
The software that we use for pretty much everything, the outage management, the accounting, the CIS, it's all the same
Is it the
system.
NISC?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And I see Abhishek resigned.
He did. He took a job in North Carolina doing substation design work.
I think we have to go after engineers that grew up in northern Michigan.
Yeah.
They're going to San Diego or North Carolina.
Yeah.
We weren't too broken up about it, so I don't know that it was a good fit. So, Todd's got an opinion.
I take it again, we're late for grabbing a university graduate.
No, we posted already like a month or two ago, but
Okay.
I think that it might get to a point where you almost, from what I'm seeing with my own son at the colleges, they have these career days, and that's where people actually are interacting with the graduates and talking about the opportunities at your company. And if we start not getting any interest, I think that might be the next path, is to actually go to some of these career days at the universities to speak with some of the students.
Does our industry organization have a career days?
Well, I know Sean participates with stuff at the high school and some of the junior highs, but we've never gone to as far as at the college level to do it. I mean, we're posting them on the university's job board and still haven't gotten any hits yet. I mean, I think he's had one resume and it wasn't very good, so.
Where would be the primary, where would you be recruiting from?
Platteville, Madison, MSOE, Michigan Tech, pretty much any of the engineering colleges in either Michigan or Wisconsin or even Minnesota if it was, yeah.
Do you know, Todd, on, this is Smart Hub, you know, what causes the delay in, is that just like how routine, this is yesterday, this is my yesterday.
Sure.
And it always is like a half a day.
Behind.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to defer to Matt for that question, but my guess is that the meter data that's being collected is probably being done on an hourly interviewable session, and that's why it's taking a little longer to update.
We only read the meters once a day,
Oh, okay.
so
All
that
right.
was the last,
Oh, that was the last reading.
right, so
Okay.
then tomorrow it'll have yesterday's and part of today's reading.
Okay. So that tells me when it's being read.
Right.
Any other questions? If not, how about the general manager report?
I should have asked back on Josh's or whatever, but are we getting any bites on linemen?
We decided, at least for the short term, we were going to see how it goes and not fill the position.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to the commission if we decide something different.
Okay.
And is MUW, assume they have a,
I think they are close, because I got an email today from the executive committee asking if they could use our facility for a board meeting here sometime in mid-April. I think they're going to bring the candidate to the full board this time to ensure there's no...
that's how Sean needs direction.
I don't know where I am.
So they've given me 4 dates and asked if they'd be all right for a board meeting. So
They're good.
The plan is, I would say by mid-April it will be announced.
Anything else? If not, let's go to the accounts payable. Any questions?
Just remind me, the redacted ones are due to confidentiality or something?
Right, just
Okay.
under PC rules for confidentiality.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a, I guess I just thought of the tax escrow account, monthly transfers, $165,000. But then there was an IRS payment. I take it that's transferred out of the tax escrow account or something?
The tax escrow account is primarily just used for pilot payments.
Okay.
We just pay the IRS, that's going to be the payroll deductions.
I see.
So we just pay those as we go.
Anything else from anybody? Would somebody like to make a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn. Okay, Joel made
Second the motion.
and John second.
You got a 4 o'clock.
All in agreement? Will you say aye?
Aye.
Thank you.